The message arrived on a Tuesday. Well, what we assumed was a Tuesday. Honestly, translating human temporal systems into our own circadian rhythms gave most of us headaches that lasted 3 cycles, but the humans were oddly insistent about their days having names. As if calling a rotation Tuesday made it fundamentally different from Wednesday. Peculiar creatures, really. I was manning, or rather, tentacling, the communications array when the signal punched through every defensive protocol we had. And let me tell you, we had protocols. 17 layers of them. Military-grade encryption that could have stopped a supernova's worth of data from penetrating our networks. This message. It waltzed right through like it owned the place. Commander Vex, I called out, my voice modulator crackling with what I can only describe as electronic anxiety. You need to see this. Vex floated over, his chromatophores shifting from confident purple to concerned orange. He was good at his job, had been for 40 seasons, but even he couldn't hide the color change when he saw the readout. That's impossible, he muttered, his translation orb stuttering slightly. The humans don't have quantum fold transmission technology. We checked. Twice. Apparently they do now, I replied, pulling up the message header. And Commander. It's addressed to the entire Galactic Council. Simultaneous broadcast to all member species. Every single one. The silence that followed could have suffocated a star. Vex's third eye twitched, always a bad sign, as he initiated the playback protocol. The view screen shimmered, and suddenly we were staring at a human. Female, if I remembered their bizarre binary classifications correctly. Dark skin, darker eyes, and an expression that made my defensive glands secrete involuntarily. My name is Director Amara Okonkwo, the human said, her voice steady despite the static. I am speaking to you from what remains of Earth's Unified Defense Command. I need you to understand something very clearly. She paused, and I swear on my ancestors' molting shells that her smile was the most terrifying thing I'd ever witnessed. We tried peace. For 6 months, we sent diplomatic envoys. We opened our biosphere to inspection. We shared our culture, our art, our history. We even taught Ambassador Krieg how to make pizza, which, by the way, he loved. The pineapple debate was entertaining. Vex and I exchanged glances. I remembered Krieg's reports about human food. The pineapple thing had sparked a 3-day argument in the diplomatic corps. You responded with an invasion fleet, Okonkwo continued, her smile never wavering. 12,000 vessels. Very impressive. We counted every single one. The screen shifted, showing space. Beautiful, terrible space, filled with the twisted wreckage of what used to be our pride. The Grand Armada, reduced to debris and regret. Here's what you didn't know about humans, she said, and now her voice carried something sharp, something dangerous. We're really, really good at pattern recognition. It's a survival trait from when we were prey animals on our own planet. We see patterns everywhere. In stars. In mathematics. In behavior. My biomonitors started beeping. Heart rate equivalent increasing. We noticed that every species you've peacefully integrated into the Galactic Council followed the same pattern. 6 months of diplomatic exchange. Then subjugation. Then resource extraction. Then cultural erasure. You've done it 47 times in the last 2 centuries. The camera zoomed in on Okonkwo's face. Did you really think we wouldn't prepare? Another image flashed across the screen. Schematics. Weapons systems. Technologies that shouldn't exist, couldn't exist, violated at least 6 fundamental laws of physics. While you were evaluating our worthiness, Okonkwo said, her voice dropping to something almost conversational, we were building. Preparing. Learning. See, humans have this saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're not fooling us at all. Vex was now entirely grey, the color of profound distress. Your fleet arrived thinking we were defenseless. Quaint. We let you enter our system. Monitored every ship. Calculated every trajectory. Then we showed you what 7 billion angry primates with opposable thumbs and spite-driven innovation can accomplish when properly motivated. The screen showed another angle of the debris field. Ships split open like overripe fruit. Hull plating scattered across orbital space like confetti at a funeral. "This is your only warning," Okonkwo said, and suddenly she wasn't smiling anymore. "Leave us alone. Declare humanity a restricted species. Mark our system as forbidden territory. We don't want your council. We don't want your trade networks. We don't want anything from you except distance." She leaned closer to the camera. "Because if you come back, if you send another fleet, another invasion force, we won't stop at defense. We'll come for you. All of you. And trust me when I say this." The pause stretched like elastic before snapping. "You really don't want to see what angry humans can do with a map and a grudge." The transmission ended. Vex and I stared at the blank screen for approximately 4 heartbeats before the real panic started. The emergency council session convened within the hour, which was remarkable considering that getting 73 different species to agree on anything usually took 6 standard months and 3 diplomatic incidents. Fear, as it turned out, was an excellent motivator. I accompanied Commander Vex to the chamber, my data tablets clutched in what humans would call a death grip. The irony wasn't lost on me. Supreme Chancellor Throck, a being resembling what humans might describe as a crystallized tree trunk with anger management issues, called the session to order by slamming his primary appendage against the resonance platform. The resulting boom silenced the panicked chittering that had filled the chamber. "We have all seen the transmission," Throck announced, his translator struggling with the gravelly undertones of his native language. "We have all witnessed the destruction of Battle Group Sigma. 12,000 vessels. Gone. In under 4 hours." A collective shudder rippled through the assembly. The Chixari delegation, normally so composed, were cycling through distress colors so rapidly they looked like malfunctioning light displays. "How is this possible?" demanded Ambassador Lyra, her fur standing on end in that way that meant she was either terrified or about to molt. Possibly both. The humans were barely spacefaring. They hadn't even achieved reliable fusion drives when we first made contact. They were using chemical propulsion. Chemical. Vex stood, his diplomatic training kicking in despite the circumstances. "With respect, Ambassador, we may have underestimated their adaptive capabilities." "Underestimated?" Lyra's voice hit frequencies that made my audio receptors ache. "They destroyed an armada that conquered the Presian Empire in 3 days. The Prexians had particle weapons and quantum shielding. The humans had, what, spite and stubbornness? Apparently that was sufficient," muttered Representative Cole from the back row, earning himself several hostile glares. Throck slammed the platform again, demanding silence. "We need solutions, not recriminations. Military Coordinator Vex, what are our options?" Vex chromatophers went through an impressive display of conflicting emotions before settling on resignation gray. "Based on the tactical analysis, retreat. Complete withdrawal. Possibly offering reparations and a formal apology drafted by every linguistic expert we have." The chamber erupted in outrage. 73 species shouting, clicking, humming, and vibrating their displeasure simultaneously created a sound that could probably be classified as a war crime. "Silence." Throck's boom cut through the chaos. "Explain yourself, Coordinator." Vex activated the holographic display, showing the battle footage we'd recovered from the few escape pods that survived. What we saw made my circulatory fluid run cold. The human ships weren't ships at all. They were platforms. Weapons platforms that moved like living things, anticipating every tactical maneuver before we executed them. They'd herded our fleet into kill zones with such precision that our battle computers initially thought it was a malfunction. "They didn't just defend," Vex explained, his voice steady despite his color betraying his fear. "They orchestrated. Every movement of our fleet triggered a predetermined response. They wargamed thousands of scenarios and prepared countermeasures for each one. The battle was over before it started. We just didn't know it yet." Ambassador Krieg, the one who'd actually spent time on Earth, slowly rose from his seat. His usually cheerful demeanor was gone, replaced by something that looked suspiciously like regret. "I tried to warn the Council," he said quietly. "In my reports. The humans have a concept they call mutually assured destruction. They spent a significant portion of their industrial age holding weapons to their own planet's head, ready to annihilate themselves rather than surrender to each other. They called it deterrence. It worked for nearly a century. He paused, mandibles clicking nervously. A species that threatens itself with extinction as a negotiation tactic? We should have listened more carefully. They told us who they were. We just didn't believe them. Lyra was shaking now. What do they want? Territory? Resources? Technology? Nothing, I interjected, surprising myself by speaking up. Director Okonkwo was explicit. They want us gone. They want isolation. They want to be left alone to develop on their own terms without our interference. Preposterous, scoffed Councillor Brex, his scales rattling with indignation. We offer them access to galactic civilization. Advanced technology. Medical breakthroughs that could extend their lifespans by centuries. Cultural exchanges spanning thousands of worlds. They would refuse this. They already did, Vex replied flatly. And then they demonstrated exactly why refusing us was the intelligent choice. The chamber fell silent again, but this time it was different. This wasn't shock. It was the dawning realization that we, the Galactic Council, stewards of civilization and progress, had made a catastrophic miscalculation. Throck's voice, when he finally spoke, carried a weight I'd never heard before. We will honor Director Okonkwo's request. Humanity will be declared a restricted species. Their system is now forbidden territory. Any vessel approaching within 5 light-years will be fired upon by Council defense forces. You're protecting them from us? Brex sputtered. After what they did? No, Throck corrected, his tone leaving no room for argument. I'm protecting us from them. This council has existed for 12,000 years because we know when to fight and when to retreat. The humans taught us humility in 4 hours. I suggest we learn that lesson before they decide to teach us another. As the session adjourned and delegates fled to their homeworlds to report the catastrophe, I found myself thinking about Director Okonkwo's final words. About maps and grudges and what angry humans could do with both. Commander Vex approached, his colors muted. You know what the terrifying part is? What? I asked, though I suspected I knew. They're going to keep advancing. Keep innovating. And someday, maybe in a century, maybe in a millennium, they're going to come looking for us. Not for conquest. Not for revenge. But to make absolutely certain we understood the message. I looked at the data streaming across my tablet, showing Council ships retreating from human space at maximum velocity. I think, I said slowly, we understood it perfectly. Outside the viewport, stars glittered with indifferent beauty, and somewhere among them, humanity waited. Watching. Preparing. Making absolutely certain that if peace was offered and answered with war, regret would follow. And it did. Oh, how it did.
Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.